wait for Gravy. We got about like an hour until chapter. I hate to break it to you guys, but you guys don't get to hear what's going on in chapter. So what's probably gonna happen is we're gonna have this talk with Gravy. I'm gonna end stream and then we might come back after. Not very long to talk to Gravy because chapter is at 9. I was hoping it would be at 10, but I didn't have time to react to the scheduling message. Because I was at work. So chapter is in about an hour. There's things that we're gonna be discussing, and you guys don't get to hear them. Veronica's very intentionally not in the 11 list right now because I want her to be able to have this conversation with Gravy, without getting pulled away. Have it kind of be like she's starting her day, and like that's kind of like she's ticking that off her list of things that she wants to do today. Because if anyone knows what Mr. V. Gray is going through, it'll be Miss Veronica Calaway right here. Her outfit choice is intentional. The glasses are Harvey's, the shirt is Mason's. So, you know, we'll wait for Gray, have that conversation. It's like, here's the thing, right? I don't think there's really anyone else in the city right now, at this present moment, who understands. So let's look at his response to V's message. Thank you. I really don't know where to go from here. I feel so many things, yet nothing at all. I don't know what to do. She was the only good thing that ever happened to me, and she was taken away from me. And he asked, how do you do it? And V's just like, buddy, I can't explain that in a text message. How I'm still standing. Because, like, the truth of the matter, right? Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Truth of the matter for Veronica is she is still standing and all that through sheer stubborn force of will. Do I want her in her cut? Because, like, part of me is like, have her in the cut because of the patch that she has on. The compass rose. Ooh, no. I know what we'll do. She'll pull it on. That's what we'll do. She'll pull the cut on when she... I mean, now we're thinking, Mel. Now we're thinking. As you guys know, usually I don't talk when I have the black bars up, but it's an exception right now because we are waiting for Gravy, and I don't feel like swapping. Veronica has been through the ringer when it comes to losing her spouse. She lost Harvey, and she still counts Mason in that category, even though they'd been divorced for like a month. And I don't know. I've been looking forward to this conversation all weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I have been looking forward to this conversation. I wish I wasn't running it up against chapter, but the reason we're doing it before chapter is because I don't know what we're going up to after chapter. I would have been around earlier, but I got off work at 6:30, so I've only been home for like an hour and a half, and I had to eat and all that stuff. I wonder if Gravy. So, Siren Gray, who is Veronica's therapist, was murdered. We dealt with that on her EMS. So Veronica is going to be talking with V. Gray, who's Siren's husband. So we're here. Chapters tonight, but you guys are not gonna get to hear what the Raiders are talking about at chapter tonight. When we go to chapter, that's when I go bye-bye. Because I don't... Then we might come back after, we'll see. We'll see. But she's gonna talk to Gravy. I can't see that conversation going over an hour. I feel like it just gets a little excessive at that point. I did get to take a nap. Because again, like, I have things I want to get done in RP today. We can talk a little bit about stuff that happened with Cash last night after Storm. Bozo fell off the Maze Bank Tower but didn't go splat. Because her and Hannah were like, okay, let's try to get Owen to go up to top of Maze Bank Tower because Owen hates heights. And Cass slipped and fell, and she calls Hannah as Owen's getting up to the top, unbeknownst to her, and she's like, hey, we cannot tell Owen that I fell onto the side of the building, because he'll freak. So they devise a lie. And then Cass ends up at the hospital, and Hannah ends up coming clean about the lie, and it's very, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed vibes. And Owen's like, yeah. He's like, what if you got into the ICU? And I just thought that you had gone home and gone to sleep. Crazy. Cass is like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And like, poor Cass is just trying to navigate. Like, she found out that they're not together, and she's just like, what do you mean you two aren't together? You guys act like you're together. Wait, huh? So it's doing Cass's brain, like, head in, because, like, you gotta understand that Cass has a hard time understanding certain things unless she has direct experience of it. Veronica. Hands down, Veronica. Oh, lock in, chat. Hi.
Hey.
I'd ask how you're holding up, but I think the answer is pretty obvious there.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of everyone asking.
Yeah, they're gonna keep doing it because they don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Hey, how are you? I'm just great. My wife was brutally murdered.
Yeah, there's really no easy way to start any kind of pleasantries after that kind of thing.
What would be nice?
Yeah. So how are you?
Uh, Flew California to kind of deliver my parents the news this weekend, so that was really fun.
It's not an easy thing. Ever. You asked me, how do I do it? And I wish I had an easy answer for you. You know, after Harvey died, I was furious with the world. I locked myself in my house. I drank myself to sleep. I was wanting to get my hands on any and every drug I could get my hands on so I wouldn't have to feel. Problem with that is I have a condition called Addison's. Which basically means my body doesn't make stress hormone, doesn't make cortisol, which made grief and the way I was dealing with it bad news bears. And I had a lot of people around me who just didn't let me spiral. Even though I was angry at the world, even though I wanted Leo Escobar's head on a spike in front of my house.
Why didn't you?
Get his head on a spike in front of my house.
Yeah.
Because Harvey would have hated that. He would have hated that I did something that was just so not the Veronica he knew and loved.
I'm struggling really hard with that.
It's not easy. You wake up every day with these feelings and you're mad because they're not there beside you. You reach out expecting them to be next to you in bed and they're not there, and maybe you just had the best dream where it's just the two of you. And then you wake up and that's not your reality. Because someone took it from you. It wasn't a 70 years on, married, you know, holding their hand as they take their last breath. It was a brutal, violent end. But you stop and you think about what they'd want for you if they were still with you. And granted, my life has taken such a drastic turn since then. And I'll admit, part of what put me on the path towards the Raiders was the lingering resentment I had towards the system. But I also fell in love with someone new who perhaps encouraged the parts of me that I tamped down. Instead of telling me, maybe that's not a good idea, V. But for the longest time, it was Harvey, even if he wasn't here. I still come out here, visit, because it's a pain that doesn't go away.
I don't know if I can grow around this.
Why don't you grow with it? Because that grief is never going to go away. It's always going to be part of you. She's always going to be part of you.
That's why I haven't done something stupid yet.
Because you hear her voice at the back of your head going, don't you fucking dare.
Yeah, it's really hard to hear her parents say that, you know, they hope that the person who did this comes to judge and believing in the system. And I could just do it myself.
You could, but then you ask yourself, is that what they'd want for you? Is that what she'd want for you? And that's a tough pill to swallow. Because you know what the answer is. In my case, they caught Leo that day because he crashed the fucking airplane. But in my case, Leo was just a tool.
He's a fucking cockroach.
He is. But Harvey's death wasn't because of Leo, it was because of Sanguine and TJ Walker and the hotel. There was a $250,000 bounty on his head.
Similar but very different, I guess, situations.
Still senseless. Still.
Just doing his job.
Mm-hmm. He was
That's what she was
investigating the
doing.
prison. That's the fucked up thing about public service in a nutshell is you can do everything right, do your job, show up, and this kind of thing still happens. And then you have to hope that the very institution that you work with or work for doesn't fail you. Doesn't fail them.
Do you know the whole story?
All I really know is that she was murdered. Oh. I've been staying home a lot more between Mason's death and Raina's death. It's just not really been a, hey, I want to go and rob banks and chop cars, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when, again, my hands are tied when it comes to Raina's death. It's a recurring theme for me. Is even with all the anger I have over the people that I've lost, I either can't or won't do anything about it. In Leo's case, it was won't. In Mason's case, it's can't and won't. And in Raina's case, it's a very, very big can't. And it sucks. Because you want an outlet for that anger, don't you?
Yeah, if I could, I would mag dump that person with everything I have in me. I would take away what they value most precious to them.
Can I be honest? I'm
Yeah,
I'm not sure that would make you feel better. In the moment, it probably feels like it would. Because at least your anger can be directed at them. It can have a place to rest. But it doesn't bring her back. It's a temporary relief for a pain you're going to be feeling for the rest of your life.
deep down, I think I know that.
But it's hard to keep a hold of that feeling. That knowing that if you do that, it's just not going to change the situation.
It's a 5-minute fix for a lifelong problem.
And then, you're you're one of the good ones, Gravy. Even with the anger you feel, taking a life or seriously harming someone to the point that they're affected for the rest of their life, that stays with you. No matter how much you think that they deserve it or how much they do deserve it.
All I know. Do you know Brixton?
Yeah, I do. He was one of Harvey's.
I had to shoot and kill him.
I vaguely know the story. He wanted to get revenge, and
Pretty similar to what I'm going through.
it sits with you, doesn't it?
Now they're both dead. No one talks about them.
There's that old saying about how you die twice. First time is, when your heart stops beating. The second time is when you're forgotten.
I still have nightmares of watching him take his last breath after I tried to stop him. Thinking, I can't really blame him for what he did. I understand, but I wish he didn't, you know? And it's a little different, the whole story, because it's. See, I don't even remember her name,
I
but
know she was an EMS. But
crazy at that point. She's like pulling out a gun and threatening people over shit. Very, very polar opposite of what Siren was.
Violence begets violence and all that, I
Yeah.
suppose. That's the thing with you. I don't think you're an inherently violent person.
I don't think so either.
So say you go
This
after me.
rage,
Hmm?
this rage is it's eating at me. I seen I seen a twat from court today and just wanted to go gun down every single clown I could find.
Do you think that would have made you feel better?
Maybe in the moment,
What about an hour, a day?
probably not.
This is what happens if you do go after the person that did it to Siren. Do you think it stops there?
No, probably ends up like Brixton and his girlfriend.
Well, what little I knew about Siren was from being one of her patients. But I get the distinct feeling that if there is an afterlife somewhere, if you went out that way and showed up far too soon, she'd be yelling at you.
Yeah.
What do you think that she'd want for you right now?
Keep working as a cop. Let let the system do their thing. Put the person behind bars. Continue to be the kind person she fell in love with.
So I
Don't
think,
quit.
yeah, so I think you have your answer on what you should do.
I don't know if I can do it.
It's not the easy thing. Don't force yourself back to work yet. I made that mistake. You go back when you're ready. And maybe you're never gonna be ready, but it's a 5 minutes at a time thing. That's what my dad used to say, not my biological father. Um, I don't know if you've ever heard the name Jeffrey Bundy.
I think so. I've heard a lot of names.
Yeah, he was a ranger back in the day. And he was part of LSPD before that. I think he was Ash Chief at one point for a little bit, if I remember correctly. But he'd always say to us when we were going through something, just take it 5 minutes at a time. Not a day, not a week, just 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure he's the one that also used to tell me it's a bad day, not a bad life.
Feels like a bad life at this point, you know?
It, trust me, Gravy, you're looking at the poster child of, damn, what a
That's a lie.
what a bad life that must be. Someone asked me, um, not too long after Mason died, how I was still with the Raiders. And wasn't I angry about it? Because if you saw the docket and the court case, you can probably put two and two together on what happened.
And he was blotted out, wasn't he?
I'm not going to confirm or deny that. I'll let the court record speak for itself and the subpoenas. And I stayed because he wanted me to. We were divorced by that point, but still hit me like losing my partner. Part of me died with him, a part of me died with Harvey.
Do you ever feel like all of you died with him?
In the moment, it did. You feel like you don't know how you're going to wake up and feel like a human again. You feel like this hurting, this anger, this pain is never going to go away. I'm not saying that it ever fully goes away, but eventually you wake up one day and it hurts a little less and you're smiling a little bit more. And you see a picture of them and that twinge in your heart isn't as bad. I'm a firm believer in the people that we lose are never fully gone. There's that whole, what was it, law of physics that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form. I don't think people are ever truly gone. The parts of them that loved you are always going to be with you. And one day, those are the parts that are going to make it hurt a little less. Make it a bit more bearable to get through the day without them.
Did you feel like you were alive before either Harvey or Mason?
Said to feel like I was alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a while after, it felt like I had died with them. But I'm still standing, and I'm still here.
I didn't feel like I was alive before I met Siren. It was the
Oh, you
same
meant like
day.
before,
Yeah. Yeah,
before
before
meeting
then.
them.
Yeah.
Before Harvey, I was a workaholic,
Yep.
and after Harvey, I would just look forward to spending time with him and We had a house in Vinewood and the hot tub was empty and we would just sit in the hot tub talking. I don't know if anyone's ever told you about Harvey Holden, but he was a yapper.
Yeah, Leo kept telling me I'm gonna be the next Harvey Holden.
He brought a spark to my life and people didn't understand it. People hated him. They asked why I was married to him. Until he died, Svensson didn't believe he was married. Said I was imaginary.
I get that a lot too.
And then with Mason, again, I was a workaholic, and he started getting me to not be so much of a workaholic. Brought a whole new dimension to my life that I hadn't considered in a long time. Maybe one day you'll get the full Veronica Calaway traumatic, tragic backstory. If it's ever relevant.
I don't know. I asked Stacy today if she could euthanize me.
Okay, that's a little extreme.
I don't really think it's that extreme.
It's a little bit extreme. Like, unless you know for certain, Siren would be like, hell yeah, baby, come join me in the afterlife. Right this fucking instant.
Well, she'd be mad for like 5 minutes, then she'd get over it. Keep texting her every day.
I texted Harvey about 266 times between the time he died and the economy collapsing. That was multiple times a day. 'Cause he died a little over a month and a half to 2 months before the economy came crumbling down.
I keep calling her too, expecting her to pick up.
That's normal. I'm not gonna say it's not because I did it too.
Like, I'm thinking that this is all just a sick joke, a nightmare.
With Mason, I write him letters. Because I don't want my phone to get subpoenaed and all my most intimate thoughts, my feelings, all of that being out there. No thank you. So I write him letters instead. I write Harvey letters sometimes too because the phone line got disconnected when the economy collapsed. But I think it's perfectly normal for you to do that.
I don't see myself stopping.
I don't think there's ever going to be someone who tells you you have to. She was your person. Like I said, you're always going to miss her. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be days, months from now, where you think that you're okay, and then the next day you wake up and you don't want to get out of bed. Could be a random Wednesday afternoon. It could be her birthday, your anniversary. And that's perfectly normal too. The biggest thing is just don't let the anger consume you because that's the easy option, Gray. It's easy to let the anger win. It's hard to wake up every morning and choose to live and choose to be the person that they knew you as and loved you as. You're going to change. I'm just talking about the core of you. Because that doesn't change.
Last conversation we had was I got I got suspended pending an investigation. And they wanted to interrogate me. I'm going into details. But they called me and said they were ready. And I made them wait for 30 minutes so we could talk. I told her that I'm going to go do this and I think I'm going to turn my badge in. She was very, very, very against the idea. She dropped me off to go do what I had to do, and I was just so nervous I almost got to give her a hug and kiss her goodbye until she yelled at me. So I'm really, really glad she did.
It's those little things. Like with Harvey, the last time I spoke to him, he was telling me he'd be back in a couple hours. He's gonna go lay down. He never actually got off duty. But I very distinctly remember the last thing I said to him being, I love you. With Mason, it's a bit more complicated. The last thing he said to me was to get out of the cold. You're the only person that knows that. He, pulled up on me when he was supposed to be not here. Just told me to get out of the cold.
Thank you.
Anytime. I mean it. If you need to talk or yell or scream, you can call me, you can text me. Even if it's just you're yelling into the void. No, you're, cop and all that, but I'm a human first before anything else, Greg.
That's how I look at everyone. think it goes a long way. And people thought that way. Well, there's a couple. There's a couple cops I think aren't human, but I digress.
Yeah, there's definitely a few that are questionable. So one thing that I'll leave you with before I gotta go, because unfortunately I got some club stuff at the top of the hour that I gotta take care of.
There you go, do your thing.
I have this compass rose on my cut, right?
Hmm.
Mason and I used to have this thing that we'd say to each other, which was, you know where home is. Even with him gone, I still know where home is, and it's the people that are still here. My friends, my family, you know, Alice and Lane, the club. He's still part of that home. It's just, he's not here right now. And it's like I said, she's always going to be part of you. And she's always going to be part of your home, even if she's not here right now. Are you okay with a hug?
Yeah. Might not back. I'd
That's
be like
okay.
dead weight. Kind of
It's okay.
still.
Consider this a one-time only hug, because I don't hug cops. But you're not a
Yeah,
cop
alright.
right now.
V Gray.
You're V Gray.
Thanks.
I do gotta get going, but you look after yourself, okay?
Okay, you too.
Sure you eat, and, you know, don't let that anger consume you. I'm not gonna lie. I did get a little teary-eyed during that conversation. I thought I was gonna fucking start crying like a baby, to be honest. It was a really good talk. And look, I kept it under an hour. Also, hi, Dan. You popped in at a very, 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 very serious moment. That was Sergeant V. Gray of the LSPD, whose wife Siren, who was Veronica's therapist, was murdered last week. Veronica has a very, very good understanding of that kind of thing. A murder most foul. Yes, yes. Unfortunately, you're also coming in when I have to end stream because what I'm about to go do is not for your ears, chat. And rather than trying to mess with OBS, I'm just gonna end stream. I mostly went live for that conversation because you guys know me. Augustin, I'm sorry for the metamorphine. Hey, he does not know that Veronica was part of the stabbing him with metamorphine. We might come back after chapter depending on things. But for right now, I'm gonna end stream. Just cause, again, like I said, you guys don't get to know the Raiders chapter T this week. You guys know I like being live for moments like that, where it's like very significant for the character. The only reason I didn't really go live for Siren's Perma is because it just felt like there was a lot of moving parts on Cassidy's end. Um, but yeah, she wore Harvey's sunglasses and she um I know exactly who we're gonna raid into. we know who we're raiding, right? Like, let's be so for real. We know who we have to raid after that conversation. We're gonna go raid the man himself.